Okay, so if you're a dog owner, you have almost certainly heard it. That sudden, kind of terrifying honking, snorting sound that just makes your heart absolutely stop. It really looks and sounds like they can't breathe, right? But what if I told you it's usually totally harmless and you can actually stop it in just a few seconds? Well, let's break down everything you need to know about the infamous reverse sneeze. First things first, and this is the most important part, don't panic. A reverse sneeze is almost always just a harmless reflex. It's typically triggered by really simple things like a bit of dust, pollen, or even just pure over-the-top excitement. And the best part? It is incredibly easy to stop. It's especially common in smaller breeds, so if you have a little pup, this is definitely for you. We're going to get into all of it. So, let's dive right into the main event, that absolutely bizarre and scary sound. What is actually happening inside your dog when they make that noise? And this sequence right here, it perfectly captures the whole experience, doesn't it? 1 second, your dog is totally fine, happy as can be. The next, they just freeze, their neck gets all long, and you hear that loud inward gasp or honk. And then, just as suddenly as it started, it's over. They shake it off, go right back to wagging their tail. Well, this dramatic little episode is what's officially known as a reverse sneeze. Okay, time for a little science. The fancy medical term is paroxysmal respiration, but really all that means is a sudden, rapid gulp of air in through the nose. Think about a regular sneeze. That's a powerful burst of air out. This is just the total opposite. It's just a really quick way for your dog to clear some little irritation from the back of their throat, in an area called the nasopharynx. Honestly, it's kind of like a hiccup, but for their nose. So that brings us to the next big question. Why does it even happen? And are certain dogs kind of predisposed to it? Let's get into the triggers and the pups who are most prone to these little honking episodes. The root cause is just a little irritation way back in the throat that makes the soft palate spasm. And the triggers? Well, they're often just everyday things. It could be allergens like pollen, maybe eating or drinking way too fast, pressure on their throat from a collar that's a bit too snug, or even just pure, uncontainable joy when you walk through that door. And get this, size is a massive risk factor. A 2022 study actually confirmed this. It found that over half of all documented cases were in dogs weighing less than 5 kilograms, which is about 11 pounds. So yeah, if you've got a little dog, the odds are much, much higher that you're going to see this happen. And here they are, the usual suspects. Those brachycephalic or flat-faced breeds like pugs and boxers, they are right at the top of the list. And it's all because of their anatomy. Their elongated soft palates and more compact airways are pretty much the perfect setup for this kind of throat irritation. They're joined by lots of toy breeds like Yorkies and Chihuahuas. Even Beagles make the list pretty often. All right, so you know what it is and you know why it happens. Now for the most important part, what do you actually do about it? Let's get into your toolkit for stopping an episode and stopping it fast. This is where you get to be the calm, cool, collected hero. Okay, the most important thing to remember is that your dog totally feeds off your energy, so step 1 is always to stay calm yourself. Then you can try gently massaging their throat. That encourages them to swallow, which helps reset that soft palate. Another vet-approved trick is to briefly, and I mean for just a second or two, cover their nostrils. This also makes them swallow. And finally, offering a small treat or just a little sip of water often works wonders. Seriously, these simple actions can stop an episode right in its tracks. Now look, while probably 99% of reverse sneezes are no big deal at all, it's absolutely critical to know when it might be something more. So let's cover the red flags. These are the signs that mean it's time to give your vet a call. One of the most common worries is mistaking a reverse sneeze for something more serious, like a collapsing trachea, especially in those smaller breeds. The difference is key. A reverse sneeze is that loud inward snort that ends quickly, leaving the dog perfectly normal. A collapsing trachea, on the other hand, is more of a goose-like honking cough that can last longer, and your dog might pant or seem pretty tired afterward. And here are the specific things you need to watch for. If these episodes are lasting longer than a couple of minutes, or if they're happening multiple times every single day, that's a sign. If you see other symptoms like nasal discharge, coughing, or any trouble breathing between the episodes, that's your signal. Don't wait, just get it checked out. All right, finally, let's bust some common myths and talk about long-term management. This is all about how you can learn to live happily with the honks. Let's just get this one out of the way, because it's the #1 myth we need to bust. Your dog is not choking, and they are not in pain. They are not. During an episode, they are fully alert and they're comfortable. Their airway isn't blocked, it's just a painless, involuntary reflex, and as soon as it's over, boom, they're right back to their happy selves.
So if you want to reduce how often these episodes happen, prevention is your best friend. Using a harness instead of a collar takes all that pressure off the throat. An air purifier can help cut down on allergens in your home. If your dog's a speed eater, a slow feeder bowl can really help. Regular dental care can prevent issues that cause postnasal drip, and a quick paw wipe after walks reduces how much pollen they bring inside. You see, small changes can make a huge difference.
And I think this quote just sums it all up so perfectly. Once you actually understand what's happening, you can stop panicking. Instead of it being some scary medical event, you can start to see it for what it really is. Just a harmless little quirk. Because at the end of the day, those quirky honks are just part of their unique personality.
And just so you know, all the amazing information and guidance in this explainer comes straight from a super comprehensive guide that was published in Doggozilla magazine. They really break down all the science and practical advice for us dog owners. See? At the end of the day, knowledge really just transforms fear into confidence. That scary sound doesn't have to be scary anymore. You've now got the tools to understand it, to act, and even to help prevent it. It really makes you wonder, right? What other misunderstood quirks do our pets have that are just waiting to be explained? Stay curious.